YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to first test some settings out, audio and video wise. I built a brand new computer to edit and capture and do this sort of work on. So I wanted to make sure that everything sounds good and looks good. So today we're taking a look at the Logitech M510. And it is a pretty boring mouse for the most part, but it is really common, and I think it's really under-reviewed. All the tech lame channels that are out there all review the gaming this and gaming that and this new $150 mouse and that new $150 mouse, and I don't got the time for that. So this is a surprisingly good mouse for the price tag. It's been around for a while. Release date was June of 2010. It's now 2016. But the review here is how this has lasted over the last 6 years and why this mouse is still incredibly popular so many years later. So it does come in a handful of colors. This is the most common. It's just sort of a black. This kind of looks navy. It's more of a gray. You've got a couple buttons on the side, sort of like a back and forward. It's not a rocker like some of them are. I'm not in reach of another mouse, but some of them have sort of a rocker switch like you'd find as a volume switch on your smartphone. This is different. It's actually two distinct buttons. You can kind of see the separation in there. It's got this very nice rubberized textured grip around the outside, and that is really comfortable. Depending on how you grip the mouse, it's comfortable in many different fashions. Up top you have the scroll wheel, and you can see the arrows there. This also goes left and right, so you could technically scroll side to side on some of those very wide web pages, or use this for anything you want. All the buttons on this mice are programmable, so even if you want to use the right click to open a menu or something like that, you can make that happen. Or use this mouse for maybe just media commands like fast forward and scrolling through footage and other things like that. On the bottom here you have the sensor here, and we'll talk about that in a second. It says high performance laser. That's it. Just what it says around the edge there. You've got 4 little pads here, and they work really well. They don't collect too much dust, and they are replaceable if you really want to replace them. The symbol that you see here, you might notice it is the Logitech Unifying symbol, and it comes with a Nano Receiver. Looks like this. Very small receiver that you'll plug into your computer, and you can actually connect up to 6 different Logitech devices using just one of these. So if you have a wireless keyboard and a mouse and maybe a microphone or multiple mice or whatever you got, like a wireless numpad, this will connect up to 6 devices. I had to plug that back in because I'm actually using this mouse right now. So that's it on the bottom. Battery cover is pretty self-explanatory. They do provide batteries. The battery life is 24 months, and I can attest to that. I've only replaced the battery twice, and I bought this in 2014. I don't use this mouse every day. Well, yeah, I guess I do use it every day. As my co-host decides to find out what I'm doing. You gonna hang out? So battery life's really good. Also, if you travel with this mouse, there is a spot. Unifying receiver actually goes right in here. A little nook for it there, so you don't lose that in your travels. Or if you switch between computers like I do a lot, you'll notice that. So that's basically the tour of the mouse. You've kind of got this gloss black edge around the entire bit of the mouse. That does collect a couple fingerprints every now and again. Also, when the device is turned on, there's a little green light up here. Doesn't really do anything more than just a green light there. This mouse looks sort of brand new. The occasional cat hair on there. I've had this mouse since 2012, obviously. Super durable. It hasn't worn down any. I know some mice get dirty, or the trackball, sometimes gets a little loose. This mouse has not faltered in any way. The build quality is absolutely incredible. Some of the cons that I've read online. Get your tail out of the way. Some of the cons I've read online are inaccurate and jerky pointer movement, and I do not see that at all. I think that's more user error than anything. You can obviously adjust all of these settings in menus. Stiff scroll wheel can be tiring over long periods of use. Yes, the scroll wheel is a little bit stiff. Like, it's tactile, I guess, so it kind of bumps, kind of clicks as you go, and I actually prefer that. It does not have a free scrolling mode. Some of them you can click the mouse button in and then it free scrolls. This one does not do that. This is also a really, really inexpensive mouse. It retails for $40, and Logitech is kind of like Apple. Their prices never, ever change. If you buy it from Logitech's website, highly recommend you don't buy it from Logitech's website, because just about everywhere else they have it for between $17 and $21. Also depends on your color. If you get red for some reason, that's $30. If you get blue, it's $26. But this gray one right here, they call it silver, is $21 right now on Amazon. Comes with the Unifying receiver. Let me just talk about what they say on their website. And this is, even though this mouse is 10 years old, it is still on their current product line on Logitech's website. Full-size, laser-grade tracking comfort mouse. It is a full-size mouse. There are definitely mice smaller than this. There are not too many mice larger than this. I think that's a big problem that we have here in the mouse market today. Mice are small and they're portable, but the problem is, even for me, I have small hands. This is an appropriately sized mouse. Anything smaller than that you wind up get like carpal tunnel or something trying to hold on to these little teeny tiny mice. So let me read what Logitech has on their website. A comfortable full-size mouth with extra controls, long battery life, and advanced precision. Works on Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows XP, Linux kernel 2.6 or greater, and Chrome OS. I guess it doesn't work on Mac. I'm sure it does. It's just probably like any other USB mouse. It's actually worked on my Mac before, but on their website they don't have Mac OS. Warranty information is 3-year limited hardware warranty. Package contents are wireless mouse, unifying receiver, 2 AA batteries, which are pre-installed, and the user documentation. Now, they are pre-installed, but they do have one of those little like pull tabs. You pull it out, and then you can use this. So the dimensions, height is 2.56 inches. The width, not the width. They have this. Oh, okay, yeah. Width. They say this is the width, is 4.8 inches, and then it's 1.61 inches in depth. They call this depth. Mouse weight, including the batteries, is 129 grams. I'm not going to go over the receiver weight or the dimensions. Laser grade tracking is what they call for their sensor technology. The sensor resolution is 1,000. The number of buttons is 7. I guess that's 7 because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then if you click, you can actually click the scroll wheel in for a 7. Wireless operating distance is Bluetooth range. This isn't a Bluetooth mouse though. It's 2.4 gigahertz, but it's still about 10 meters for operating distance. It is made in China. That's about it. Doesn't really say too much about it. Enjoy a contoured shape with gently curved sides, broad palm area, and soft rubber grips. Extra controls right under your fingers. The more you do, faster back and forward buttons. That's what I use. Side to side scrolling, I don't really use that. 2-year battery life with the on-off switch, smart sleep mode, and battery life indicator. See, I don't think this is a battery life indicator. I mean, it's on. Oh no, this does actually change colors. When your battery life is really, really low, I'm talking like a couple days left in your battery, this will go from green to red. So battery life indicator, you might just forget that this mouse runs on batteries. Then it talks about the unifying technology. Plug it, forget it, add to it. You can connect up to 6 unifying devices through the same tiny receiver. And that is it. Only comes in 3 colors, like I mentioned earlier, red, blue, and what they call silver. This is silver. Some of the pros that I hear about this mouse, and this is on a website called boutique.com. Low profile wireless USB transmitter can be left in and forgotten. True plug-and-play installation requires no setup. I'm not going to say that, because this mouse, for example, I used a different Logitech unifying receiver. If you use the unifying receiver that comes in the box, yes, it's automatically paired with this. But I lost mine when I got rid of my laptop, and I had an extra one at home, and I had to download the unifying software online and then pair the unifying receiver to this mouse. So once you've done that, then yes, it is plug and play. You can switch it to different computers and all that good stuff, and it'll still work just like a standard wired mouse. Very accurate laser technology, suitable for more delicate tasks. Which is weird, because in the cons section, the same website says inaccurate and jerky pointer movement. Which one is it? Is it inaccurate and jerky pointer movement, or is it very accurate laser technology suitable for more delicate tasks? I agree with the positive statement there. Above average battery life, 2 years on 2 AA batteries. Logitech does this really, really well, and I don't think any other mouse company has really mastered this. There are a lot of mice out there that are rechargeable or use rechargeable batteries or function on batteries, and they really don't get battery life over a year. I know some Microsoft and HP mice that I have, less than a year battery life on some of them. They are a little bit higher grade than this, but still, you want a really, really good battery life. Logitech's the way to go. Let's see. And I think that's it. I mean, a pretty basic review for this. I've used it for a really long time, and I've used it even in some like light gaming applications that you don't require too many buttons, you know, just your sort of point and click games. You don't need all these, you know, buttons on the side or anything like that. The DPI on this is fine. I actually prefer the term CPI. Go watch Linus Tech Tips video for the explanation on DPI and CPI if you don't know that. And it's just a really good, durable, inexpensive, you know, you need a cheap mouse, but you still want to play a little bit of video games every now and again. You want to still be able to get some of that office work done and just crank through spreadsheets and other things like that. This has the ability to do so. And with some of the new Logitech unifying software updates that they've come out with over the couple of years, depending on what program you're in, this will also change the button presets. So if I open a certain game like Steam games or something like that, these might become, you know, reload and crouch. But if I open a spreadsheet or something like that, this might switch between spreadsheets or something like that, or switch between windows or forms or something like that, while left and right becomes the forward and back button, or maybe buttons to highlight. So you can really customize this little $20 mouse to do quite a few things. The rubber sides here have held up very well. There is a little bit of wear just from the oils of your hand, but still makes it surprisingly comfortable. I like this mouse. I have a ton, way too many Logitech products, but they keep putting out some pretty good products. So as long as Logitech keeps putting out good products, I will keep reviewing them and buying them, and I hope this information has served you well, and you do the same. As usual, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Questions or comments that I didn't answer well enough, or things that I did not catch, please leave a comment, and I will get to that as soon as I can. I appreciate you guys sticking around. This is a weirdly long video for just such a simple mouse, but you know how I like to ramble. Thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll see you in the next one.